everyone, I'm Leah from Artists and You, and today I'm going to teach you how to antique a piece of pottery. So here I have a little rabbit figurine, and this one's going to work very well for antiquing because it has lots of little indents in it, little ruffles and fur and all that. So the best pieces of pottery for antiquing have a lot of engraved detail on them. So when we're going to antique it, we're basically going to put black paint in all of the little indents in the bisque, in the ceramic. So it will make them all stand out. So something like a mug like this probably won't work so well for that just because it's all smooth. And you're not going to do a whole lot by putting black on it. So I'm just going to start here with some black paint. I have 2 small containers here that I'm going to mix my black in because we're going to make it watery. I probably didn't need quite that much. So you need just a little bit of black, and then I have in this container just a tiny bit of water, and I'm going to dump it in a little bit at a time and mix it with my paintbrush until it's about the consistency of milk. So I also here have a mug of water for washing my brushes and paper towels. And what I'm going to use for the antiquing, I just here have a wad of slightly damp paper towels. A damp sponge would also work. And I also have some dry paper towels to help with that also. So it's still a little too thick. So I'm going to add a little more water, make it about the consistency of milk. So we want it to run down your pottery and into the cracks in it. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm going to set my piece on top of a paper towel. The paint will wash off a table if you get it on, but this way it'll just keep it from getting all over my table. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. As you can see, it's pretty watery. And then I'm just gonna take this brush and I'm just gonna start painting my rabbit all black. And you can do this a section at a time if you want so that it doesn't dry in between. You can already see how it's all running to the cracks on her face. So I'm just going to set this aside really quick. I'm just going to do it a section at a time so it doesn't dry. Then I'm going to take my damp towel and wipe it off. And as you can see, it's staying in all the cracks. And you can wipe off as much as you think looks good. If you want lots of black on it, you can wipe more gently. The harder you wipe, the more it will take off. So, in places where it's farther in, you may have to wipe harder. Just wipe it until you like the way that it looks. And you can always go over it again if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to go over a couple spots again, and I'm going to keep going on the face here. So we're just going to super fast paint everything black. Just do it really quick. And let all that watery paint run into all the indents. And also, the more paint you do, the darker the indents will turn out. So I have basically the whole front of her done here. So then I'm going to lay down my paintbrush and I'm going to wipe it off. And if it's not coming off because it started to dry, just dip your paper towels in water and they should pull the paint back better. So just wipe it until you like how much black is on there. As you can see, it's really making all the little details on her pop. Okay, so I'll go ahead and finish antiquing the rest with my black, and I'll come back and show you it when I'm finished doing that step, and then we can do the next one. Okay, so I finished going over my little rabbit here and antiqued the whole thing, and you can see how it's really made all the little details in it stand out very clearly. And I've gone over and made sure that I like the way it all looks, and I have as much black on it as I want, and I've taken off as much as I want. So now, if you wanted, you could get it fired at this stage already and just have it black and white. But I'm gonna go over it with colored paints now. So once you've antiqued something, it's a good idea to keep your colored paints thin so that you can see all the black details you've put on it. So 1 or 2 coats would be good here. Just try to keep it thin enough that you can sort of see some of your black through it, which it will kind of look like some of the black is covered or filmy over it, and that's all right. The black will still show through when it fires, but just keep your paint thinner than you would on other pottery pieces that you might be painting. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. I'm just gonna set my black here aside, and I just have for my palette, I just have a cottage cheese sour cream lid that I'll use to put my paint on, but you can use tiles or plates or whatever works for you. So I'm just gonna go over this. I have a decent amount of paint on my brush, and I'm just gonna gently paint this in. And 1 coat is probably best so that you can see your antiquing clearly. But if you feel like your paint is too thin, go ahead and add another thin coat to it. We're not going to do the normal 3 coats on this pottery that we normally do, because that would hide the antiquing mostly. All right, so I'll go ahead and finish doing my 1 or 2 coats of color on here, and I'll show you the finished project when it's all done. If you have any mess ups that you really want to fix but weren't able to, the easiest way is to take either like the end of your paintbrush or a toothpick and gently scrape it off. Don't scrape it too hard, all the way down to the white bisque underneath. Just scrape it gently until you pull off the top layer of paint. That's the wrong color. And then if you scrape too hard, you can touch it up with the color it's supposed to be. So that is how you antique a piece of pottery. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope your projects go well, and I'll see you next time.